Hello folks, welcome to OTD, also known as On the Deck, where you can get all the sports you need in 10 minutes. My name is Adam Arduna. This is my mom, Gina.
He is a journalist.
She's the enthusiast.
I must be an enthusiast because if we weren't talking about anything else, I'd be talking about it in the house.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you, but unfortunately or fortunately, our show is outside, and it is cold, and it's still, or not December, it's January, and it's cold out here. So we're going to be talking about the two NFL games that took place, the AFC and the NFC championship games, and the winner of those games advanced onto the Super Bowl. And so we're going to talk about the New England Patriots and the Pittsburgh Steelers on the AFC side of things, and then on the NFC side of things, we have the Green Bay Packers and the Atlanta Falcons. Now, did these games go the way that you kind of expected them to, or did they kind of give you something that you weren't expecting?
Well, here's the best part. We were right again. We picked the Clemson, Alabama college national champion. We actually picked the divisional champion.
We did.
On this show, so you can rewind the tape and check us out, but we were both right.
We were right.
We called the Patriots and we called the Falcons.
Yes.
But what your question was, surprised I was because I had no idea these were going to be two blowout games. I mean, like snoozers. Like the shocking part was how bad that the Green Bay Packers were getting beat by the Falcons and how quickly you got bored with the game. The Steelers and Patriots, I expected a little more of a slugfest, and these were two what you could consider blowout games.
They were blowouts. I happen to agree with you. I was actually surprised a little bit, especially with the Steelers game, because I just thought that they were going to have a better showing.
Yes.
We watched the game last week against the Chiefs, or the game before against the Chiefs, and it was a decent game.
The Steelers versus
the Chiefs.
Woo.
And both teams played well. When it came to the Patriots game, Steelers and Patriots in the AFC Championship game, I felt bored. I did. I felt bored. I felt like Big Ben and those guys just weren't firing on all cylinders.
Okay, well, because I was going to ask you, do you feel like the Patriots played well or the Steelers played bad?
I think the Steelers played bad. Not to say that the Patriots didn't execute, but the Steelers did not play as well as they did the week before. And I think with all the Antonio Brown stuff that took place, that's kind of what, if you could hear Coach Tomlin's voice in the background of his Facebook Live video, he was trying to say, we barely escaped and we've got to really amp it up for next week, meaning the AFC Championship game, and that did not happen. And so, therefore, I was bored because it did become slow and kind of get out of hand. And then for the NFC side of things, we were right in our predictions. Aaron Rodgers ran out of gas. The whole Packers team ran out of gas, but it got out of hand quickly.
Yes.
The whole first half was, holy crap, what are we watching?
24-0 or 31-0 at the half?
It got out of hand quickly. And so that to me was more of the surprise. I didn't think that Aaron Rodgers was going to pull it out, but I didn't realize it was going to get quite like that.
Well, and one of the things that you had said, full credit to you, was that Aaron Rodgers had to outscore the Dallas Cowboys single-handedly.
Right.
Well, you were almost right. Aaron Rodgers did have to outscore the Dallas Cowboys, but he had to do it with the team. The kicker had to kick two clutch, and I'm going back a week.
Yes.
But he had to kick two clutch field goals, one from 56 yards and one from 51 yards in a high-pressure game.
Right.
You had to have people doing miracle drag your toe on the inside the line catches. So Aaron Rodgers had to be his best, but the team had to rally around him. Aaron Rodgers couldn't carry a bunch of dead weight, and I don't mean to insult the Packers, but they know darn good well they were dragging behind the whole time against the Falcons. The kicker, who had made 56 and 51 yards respectively to beat the Cowboys the week before, missed a chip shot field goal, and I think it was like 42 yards out.
Mason Crosby has not missed a field goal in over 2 years, basically.
And misses a chip shot.
That one.
I mean, it just... So the truth of the matter, for me, if I watched that game, I was pretty impressed with Aaron Rodgers still. He didn't make the best throws. He had a couple of in-the-dirt ones, but for the most part, he was getting the money where it needed to be, getting the ball.
You could see him doing the best that he could.
I felt like he was doing... I don't think he had the same caliber game he had against the Cowboys, but it wasn't like he came in there, just not ready to go. No, he came and did his thing.
He did.
The team was done.
And they were just out of gas. They were done. They were toasted, and they've had to they had the wild card game was at home,
right.
but then they had to travel to Dallas, and then they had to travel to Atlanta. That's 2 back-to-back weeks. Now, they do that in the regular season all the time, but those are regular season games.
Those aren't one and done.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and so you really have to be at your best, and when you're not, you're going to lose. And so
but let's give a little bit of credit to the Falcons, though, because I want to talk about that. You called Matt Ryan your MVP from the get-go, from our preseason predictions. So let me give you a high five on that. Matty Ice, I completely overlooked the Falcons. I know we went back and looked at our predictions. I actually didn't. I had them second in that division, didn't I? I know I didn't pick them. How about that?
No, we both actually had them at third. You had Tampa Bay and then Carolina. I had Carolina, then Tampa Bay, and then Atlanta, and we both had New Orleans the last.
Okay, that's right.
So
neither one of us had them at the top.
But what we did say, though, was that they are capable of doing that.
Right.
I said that they're a team that is like gangbusters out of the start of the season. They're 5-0, 7-0, 8-1, whatever, and then they fizzle out. And that's what
Which is what happened last year.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
They were the hottest team in the league to start the season, and then all of a sudden they started losing games, and then they started to fall off. Exactly. So we weren't saying that they weren't capable of being where they are right now. We said Julio Jones and Devontae Freeman, Matty Ice, all of those guys, Dan Quinn, a Super Bowl caliber coach. They have all the pieces. It's about them doing it the full season.
Exactly. So that threw us off.
It did.
But back to credit, you did say Matt Ryan / Matty Ice is your MVP.
Yes.
And he has stood up and made the difference. Now, Julio Jones is just being
That's a grown man.
That's
a grown man.
My goodness.
That's a grown man.
The question I always ask is, would you take him at the Chiefs?
Yes.
Yes.
That's a grown man.
My goodness.
That's a grown man.
We love our Chiefs receivers.
We do. Absolutely.
If you had a chance to have Julio Jones on your roster, would you take him? And like you said, you've got a coach who has won Super Bowls. He was the defensive coordinator for the Seahawks, who's now the head coach over the Falcons.
The Legion of Boom coach.
Correct.
So it's
and
one
their
of those
defense
guys.
surprised me. If there was a surprise of the weekend, that defense was everywhere and on top of everybody. They were rushing in and out of the pocket.
That is a defense that has been young for the last couple years, and now they've got some pieces. They've got a couple veterans, but they've got a couple key linebackers that are really playing well. And so right now they're in a great position, and you want your defense to be firing on all cylinders at the right time, which is right now. And so it should be a pretty good matchup coming in for the Super Bowl.
Well, I do think, and I think both of those games on the NFC side, you have the Dirty Birds who are just killing it.
Yes.
And they're firing on all cylinders, offense and defense. And then you had the Packers who were just limping through.
Yes.
On the AFC side, you've got the Patriots who just are killing it. I can't stand Tom Brady. I'm not a Patriots fan, but they're killing it.
They're a well-oiled machine.
They are.
They can throw in any quarterback, any receiver, any safety.
Get in there, anybody.
Any lineman at this point.
Correct.
They get it done regardless of who's playing that day. And they will sit their best player on the sidelines for being in the doghouse for doing something or not. And regardless, they're going to go out there and they're going to play sound, really strong, good football.
So the Patriots are firing on Steelers, and the Steelers didn't look that good.
They didn't.
Honestly, I don't feel like they looked that good against the Chiefs.
They didn't as well.
I mean, that was some lucky.
They didn't score a touchdown.
No.
It was 6 field goals that won them the football game.
Let me dust you off.
It was one of those situations where it was like, so you beat us, and then you go up to New England and poo-poo.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I mean, come on, man.
You're not going to beat New England just kicking 6 field goals.
Right, that's not going to work. Exactly.
So, at the end of the day, both of the teams that won came out playing their best, and both of the teams that lost just didn't look that good.
Yeah.
And so there you go. Now you got a Super Bowl.
So the championship games weren't that great, but the 2 teams that should be in there are in there.
That's correct.
It should be a good Super Bowl. I'm actually excited for it. It'll be down in Houston. It is in a dome, so NRG Stadium's a great facility, and it's the home of the Texans. You're Houston Oilers. But it'll be a good Super Bowl, and so we'll give you more updates on that.
Can you get me some Super Bowl tickets?
I'm trying to get anything right now, so we'll see how that goes. But
we'll keep working on that. If anybody wants to stand on the deck to the Super Bowl, we're willing to go. We'll set up these chairs in the parking lot.
Well, we just want to say we appreciate you for joining us. Please continue to follow us on all of our social media, and we'll bring you much more. And we want to say we appreciate your time, and thanks for watching, folks.